e6. Move of the day so far, giving up the white queen.
Wow.
If pawn takes queen,
I love it.
is checkmate.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Screenshot this position. What is this position?
This is the Irish pawns on whiskey.
Nodirbek Abdusattorov unleashed a beautiful opening against Levon Aronian, an opening that has not been seen much at the top level. So it's going to be a fun game. So let's jump right in. So white, who is Nodirbek, started with e4. Aronian played e5, knight out, and we have the 4 knights defense. A quiet opening. And here, Nodirbek played bishop c4, to which Aronian responded with knight takes e4. A very common sacrifice, a temporary sacrifice, because after knight takes, there is d5, and the bishop goes back, and then black will get back the piece. So that's the common line here. But Nodirbek Abdusattorov had a different plan. He just castles, allowing knight takes, pawn takes. So it's basically a pawn down. You will see similarities between this and Stafford Gambit, where in the Petrov, black allows white to take on c6 in return for control of the sender and some activity. And here you can see white has got control of d5, and same ideas like in the Stafford are possible here if black castles on the king side. Levon Aronian, realizing that, played h6, the best way to deal with the Stafford. Control the g5 square so that nothing comes there. Queen d5. Now there is some mate threat, and Levon plays queen f6. And I must also say that computers like this for black. This is not a sound sacrifice if black plays properly, but it's worth a shot in rapid and blitz. And that is where Abdusattorov played it. Now from here, the game just becomes really interesting. Rook e1. White moves are all so easy. It's a pawn down, but white has got enough counterplay, enough compensation. Pawn d6, defending it. Now you might think, how can we break this? What is a way to break this nicely formed structure? Abdusattorov plays bishop b5, bishop d7. But now how to break it? Knight d4, again putting pressure on the knight. So basically, there's no way to defend this knight anymore, right? You have to move it. And he does move it, does Levon. You can see that the bar still likes black's position. And now f4, a very risky choice by Nodirbek. So basically, he is, at any cost, he's going to break the sender. So after f4, pawn c6 was played, which is again the best move. It's a fork. And normally we would just move the queen, but yeah, Abdusattorov plays pawn takes pawn. A very nice move, because here the idea is if they take our queen, then we take here, and if knight blocks, then we just take. The bishop is pinned. Right? So if pawn takes, we just play rook in d6. And if king moves, we win the full house. With bishop d7, everything is gone. So that is the idea behind playing this pawn takes e5, and the queen and bishop are hanging. So Abdusattorov took on e5. Aronian correctly retreated with the queen. Now there's a pin on the pawn, so you can't really do this. Right? e6 was played by Abdusattorov. Still the queen's hanging, but if you take the queen, there is a mate.
This is the Irish pawns on whiskey. This is the really drunk version of it.
There's triple pawns, but they're not all the same color over there. You've got a white pawn on d7 where it doesn't belong, checkmating the black king.
That's amazing. And the other thing is, we took the other way. You checkmate the other way, David, right? So it's incredible.
If you take the other way, I'm not sure about the checkmate on f7 because the knight can take, but I think you just take this way.
Win the queen.
And you win the black queen.
One move checkmate. The queen's pinned. So you can't take the queen. And here it's possible to take with the pawn, but Levon took with the knight actually. It's possible to take with the pawn, but in that case, Abdusattorov will just play queen h5. And let's say queen f. You can't play knight f7 because of. Can you play knight f7? I guess so. There's also bishop. You can just bring the bishop back. White is doing fine in that case. Pieces are all clumsy. There is pressure. And can you play d6? There is knight f5 also coming. The position looks very good for white. So you can play queen f7, but after queen f7, white can just go bishop e2, and now you can claim enough compensation for the pawn. But it was definitely a better option, I think. But yeah, Levon actually took with the knight, which allows Nodirbek to sacrifice now, which Levon probably didn't see. If he had seen what happens here, he would have probably taken with the pawn. Now, it's a full piece sacrifice. White was down a pawn, now he's going to be down a piece. So he gets 2 pawns back, but he was already down 1 pawn. So it is a piece for 1 pawn right now. And you can't take back. Levon can't take back. And the queen's hanging. So what does Levon do? This is where Levon makes a mistake. So till now, Levon was playing probably the best moves you could find, like the most practical moves, correct defense. But here, Levon goes wrong by playing queen h4. It actually gives away the advantage black had. So the correct move was queen to f6, keeping the queen in place. The problem with queen h4 is it gives white a free tempo. And when queen goes back, bishop comes out. This is probably what Levon did not consider. Now the rook is not blocked by the bishop. There is still a pin. And the other rook is going to come to f1. And everything is going to look very nice for Nodirbek. So after rook e4, queen back, bishop e3 happened. And now bishop e7 was a blunder.
He blundered with bishop e7, and he's about to get punished after the rook slides across to f1 now, attacking this black queen. We see a few more moves. Knight takes bishop. The black king is still stuck in the center. Piece down, but you're about to crash through on d6.
Amazing preparation.
This is, I was just going to say, all according to plan is the comment David made a few moves ago, and amazing preparation. This is so impressive. This is showing up with a gambit, walking right into the Stafford Gambit on drugs. Shout out to Eric Rosen there. But the good kind of whatever helpful pill you're taking. And just like that, Nodirbek is on a roll.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and incredible. I mean, like, this is the way to do things nowadays. You know, I mean...
Is he just going to resign?
Simon.
And he didn't see a blind spot.
I totally agree.
We might just have resignation right now.
I've never seen Lev get crushed like that.
Oh my God, we have a result. Levon blunders a rook, resigns on the spot, but the position was already busted. Nodirbek taking a lead in just 21 moves in his game.
Masterpiece, demolition job.
I just want to I'm sitting here frozen. I want to let you finish your thoughts, Simon, because we've been cutting you off and the game ended so abruptly. But yeah, this is insane.
No, I mean, I just brilliant preparation. I mean, I was about to say, I think this is the way that you should do things nowadays. I mean, don't play main lines. Try to find some side lines that people forget. You know, this is, I mean, I don't know when the last time this gambit was played. Run them on your computer. Do your own research. Okay, if your opponent plays perfectly, maybe it's a draw. Okay, but that's fine. You know, you can trick them out. If they don't play perfectly, you can have these brilliancies. And when was the last time Aronian got, I never say this, Aronian, absolutely destroyed. He got completely smashed in that game. And never seen it before.
The correct move here instead of bishop e7 was to play rook c8 because there is pressure along this diagonal. So rook c8, knight a7, rook b8, and the game goes on. In complicated territory, but still the game is on. But it's understandable that Levon played bishop e7. You want to bring out the bishop and castle fast, right? But rook f1, queen goes to g6, and here just knight takes e7, unleashing the queen. Levon took back, so there is no threat on the rook here because it's defended when the king takes back. But the problem is after rook d1, you can't defend this pawn anymore. The knight's pinned. If you have to play king f6, it's going to be bad. What will happen after king f6? See, if black is brave enough to play, we have bishop d4, and if knight takes it, you can just take with the queen and it. Oh, we can take on d6, and it's going to be mate. King f5. And queen f4 checkmate. So let's go back. So you can't be brave by king f6. If you go king f8, you can't go king f8 also, right? We can just play. What shall we do here? Queen takes d6 for free. And if king g8, okay, wait. Is there something better than queen takes d6? Oh, wait, the rook's hanging. Okay, that's exactly what happened in the game. Yeah, in the game he played king f8. That's what happened. King f8 and now queen takes rook, and Levon resigned because the position is just completely gone. He's down an exchange and the king is still not able to find a good square. So in 21 moves, the game was over. It was a very nice opening surprise by Abdusattorov. And it's an opening that we can also start playing in our games as white. It's very tempting to do this like a reverse Stafford Gambit. Giving up the pawn, but for better center control, and for activity of the pieces, and to play moves like Nodirbek Abdusattorov did.